Welcome to webdevelopment-school.com. My name is Tom van der Poel, and today we're gonna talk about creating a website. This is the part 2 video of creating a simple website. For all you guys out there saying, oh no, he's doing that wrong and he's forgetting about this, please note that this is part of a complete lesson, and this lesson is about learning HTML and CSS, and we're gonna build up from there. So don't worry, it's gonna get complicated enough just in time. Um, Let me check this out. We've got these three divs over here, and we got this output of HTML. I was talking about the external style sheet we just created here. This is an empty document, styling.css, and we linked it with a link tag with href styling.css. We got three divs, and the thing we want to do now is make real sections from these divs. So like header should be a wide block at the top, menu should be a block at the left side, and content should be a large block with all the content inside. First off, we're gonna start by giving these divs an ID. It's always, I can't repeat this enough, but it's always important to use logic and relevant names. So this is a header, so we're gonna give it a ID header, and menu, same there, and content. We don't use class names because these three divs are used only once. There's only one menu, one header, and one content block, so that's the reason we only use IDs. An ID is always identified with a hash, hash, and then the ID name header. Between here we can type our CSS, and we also need that for menu and content. Menu, content. Alright, now nothing's changed there. That's supposed to be. Header. What styling does the header block need? Well, let me start off by giving it a width, say 500 pixels, and a height, say 100 pixels, and perhaps a background color, yellow. Let me zoom out just a little bit. This is more the block you want the header to be. You know, it's a real large block. It's wide. It's a section. It's not just some stupid div you can't see. What can we say about the menu? As you saw in the image on the website, it needs to be like 150 pixels width, a height of say 350 pixels, and we give it a background color orange. Oh, that's looking reasonable. And the content block, that's the whole block who's gonna fill in this space here. It's gonna go next to the menu block, and we don't want to go over the header width, and the header is 500 pixels width. So we can say that the content block must be the width of the header minus the width of the menu. So 500 pixels minus 150 is 350. So that should fit perfectly. We give it the same height as the menu, 350 pixels, and we give it a background color light blue. Well, that's working fine. We see that the measures, the dimensions of this block are correct. One thing though, it's hanging underneath the menu block, and we want it to be at the side of the menu block. That's where the float comes in. If we say float left, the menu container will tell all the coming elements to float at the left side of it. So that's looking fine at this. This is very simple and basic, but this can be the structure of a web page. Let me just go and add some heading here. We saw that the h1 tag is the biggest and the most relevant tag, and it's always important to use only one h1 tag on each page. Say we're gonna type here welcome to my website. Well, that's the right position. It's inside the header, so you can see that it's inside the yellow section. And we're gonna place some content. We're gonna place an H2 tag because H2 is a subcop. It's a subheading. It's a little bit less relevant than the H1, so we can talk about something here. Or actually, it's some heading, and we're gonna use a p tag to indicate a piece of text. So this is just a piece of text. I'm gonna repeat that a little, so we got a bit more body here. And this whole text with a heading above it, we're gonna duplicate that 3 times. Ah, looking good. For the styling of it, we're gonna lose a couple of lines. So this looks pretty much like a simple website. Now we're going to use a little bit of CSS to style those H2 and P tags and the logo, the H1 tag. Since the H2 tag is used several times, also the P tag is also used several times, we can use a class, because in this class name we can define some styles which can be used multiple times. So we're going to give this H2 tag a class subheading, and we're going to give the P tag a class regular text. We're going to copy and paste this over the other 2 P tags, and the same thing for the H2 tag. Well, that doesn't change much because we haven't defined some CSS here. We got the class name subheading and a class regular text. Let me just type that in here. Subheading, subheading and regular text. Well, let me just think of some style for a subheading. Perhaps it has some kind of font face like Arial, and some kind of font size 18 pixels, and a weird color like dark red or something. Well, this is coming in quite nice. The regular text is the P text, so those are these lines of text. You can see it's Times New Roman's default font. We're gonna change that to Verdana, and we're gonna change the font size to 12 pixels, and we make it, well, the colors are right, black. So we can see here that this is looking pretty nice actually. We've got some heading, we got a piece of text, another heading with another piece of text. We got a sort of logo or slogan here. We can style that a bit. Because the H1 tag is only used once, and because you have only one logo on a web page, you don't want to overblow it, you can use an ID because it's a unique thing, and we're gonna call it logo or slogan since it's text. An ID is defined with a hash again, hash then ID name, and here we can type some style. Say font family Tahoma, font size 24 pixels, font weight normal, which means don't bold it, but just use a regular font weight, because all the heading tags are always by default bold, so we can disable that with this one. And color blue. Well, we see some pretty weird colors, but we got our little website. I hope you found this very interesting, and we're gonna talk about this further on the website. So please check out the website. This is webdevelopment-school.com. My name is Twan van der Poel, and I really would like to see you again at the website.